Hi, this is Akshasura from Konobus. Today we'll be talking about roles. Before we get into roles, one of the main things we have to remember is we create content as a team. Content creation process involves, depending on the size of your org or the complexity of your organization, several individuals, several departments. So it can get pretty complicated. So before you get into thinking about roles or workflows, one of the main things you need to figure out is try to keep it simple. At the same time, what can you start off with? So lay out your content, figure out, okay, based on the content, I know that for something like, when we're building pages, we would definitely have to get the maybe an SEO approval. We also have to get a legal approval before we can go live. For product related, so since we're working in a sample project, if it's product related, which is coffee beans is our business, when we're posting something to do with coffee beans, we would need it to be routed to someone who's a product expert who can talk about the roasting temperature, the color, the origin, talk about how it's cultivated, things of that sort, like product marketing almost, for instance. So once you have your content workflow set up, the teams conceptually, you can come up with roles. So as we talked about, we're like, okay, if it's a page or a home page, we would want it to route through someone who's an SEO professional, for instance. So when we look at it, by default, we have this project manager role. It comes by default, pretty much can do a lot of things. If you notice, it's anyone who's in the project manager role can view, edit, create, and delete all content items. So it's a lot of power, and you can also notice that they can do quite a little bit of administrative stuff. So you could create the actual types, so which is what your content is based off of, manage taxonomy, do a bunch of things like adding people, APIs, project members, managing environment. So it's quite a powerful role. So definitely don't want to add everyone to project manager role. At the same time, creating new roles is actually super simple. So let's just go ahead and create an SEO role, and we'll add a rule to it. What the rule is what can they do? So when you think about an SEO person, they're acting upon a content which is already created. And again, it depends on your content model. Maybe they have to create new items. If that's the case, then they would need a create access. In the one we are looking into, they probably don't. I mean, someone already created the page, put a bunch of components and content on top of it. We just want this SEO group to take a look and maybe view and edit with what they need. Do they need to do all content items, or only the things assigned to them? Again, truly depends on how you want to structure it. I'm going to just select assigned, whatever has been assigned to this specific role. And then what content types do they need to deal with? And again, we talked about it. For instance, right now, I'm only interested in this SEO group to take a look at pages, because that's where we have SEO meta tags. It goes to the web channel, gets published, so we need someone to take a look. We could add other rules of different things, maybe other content types, other different types of permissions. You could add exceptions to the rule if you choose to. This group of people would not be doing any of the administrative activities, so I'm not going to give that. So I'm going to go ahead and save. So anyone assigned to this specific role can view or edit items which are assigned to them, and those items have to be of type homepage or page. And this kind of satisfies our roles. So as I mentioned, roles, you can create different roles. We could create another role called legal, and then only individuals who belong to that group can take a look. And again, legal review, most corporates have this, where they're making sure you're not claiming something which you're not supposed to without giving credit, things of that sort. So depending on how complex it is, you can create these roles, and then you can assign your team members to them. And once a piece of content is being pushed in different workflow steps, these roles will come into play, and tasks can be assigned to these individuals. I hope this was useful. Thank you so much for watching.